Welcome to another episode of JK's Deal Reveal. Tonight, we are going to go see what we can buy for $32,000. Let's go.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
All right. Good evening and welcome to JK's Deal Reveal. And we are going to see what we can buy for $32,000. Yep, a piece of real estate for $32,000. We'll see what that can get us. Not saying it's a deal, but we're going to explore Zila's deal submission tonight. So it's a first deal reveal submission by Zila. So thank you for submitting that in. And what do we have? So last reminder I'm going to do that if you missed the New Year's Revolution, setting your goals for the year in your life, you can still join in the recordings, everything that we did in the 2 weeks ago. It's there, and you can join in, and it was phenomenal. And how do you do it? jkrealestatepartners.ca/NYR, or just reach out to the JK team, and we will get you in. The next live event in the JK world is going to be on February 24th, 25th, our Epic Bus Tour in Cleveland, where we're going to go see where and how the Deal Butler is finding deals for you, for the community, including deals potentially like this one. This is, and nice to see you, Chica. Hi, how we doing? We have this property on Massey Avenue, 44108 for $34,000. Truth be told, they were asking a little bit more, but after a little bit of negotiating, we are at $34,000 currently. And let's see if we can get excited about this deal. This is cheaper than a parking spot in Toronto, and so let's see if this is worth the effort. So we're going to analyze it lightning fast on this deal reveal like we normally do. Let's see if there's cash flow in this deal. Let's see if it's in a location that makes sense. And like I said, this was submitted by Zila, so thank you so much. Your job on the deal reveal, like it is every week, is to say, is this a deal or no deal? And start thinking, what would be the next steps for you? Do you put in an offer? Do you accept that offer? Do you send out an inspector? Do you send out the deal butler? What do you do to add this or properties like this one to your portfolio? Speaking of the deal butler, really, really quick, before I jump in to analyze this deal live for you, next week and the week after, we are scheduled to showcase two Deal Butler deals, two deals from the community that are closing back to back. And so, two different Deal Butler clients, two different deals that we've been negotiating for a couple of weeks. And looks like they're going to be closed by the time we roll into the next deal reveals. So, that's really, really exciting. So, let's go back here to our property on Massey Avenue. Start the clock. Let's see if we have a deal or no deal. So you can go here and type in to Google your property's address. JK's deal reveal funny. Property's address followed by realtor, and you can find the website realtor.com, and you can get a good, well, you can figure out a few things about the property. So just the first picture, you see there's a couple of things, right? We're boarded up, we're missing pieces. The siding, even though you don't see it so great, is definitely old siding. That's going to be an expense. So right that first picture, I'm like, okay, there's no way that we're under the $40,000 for this renovation. Just by looking at this first picture, even this column, I just noticed this now a little bit crooked, missing some soffit fascia. Not the prettiest thing. And on the inside, we see that someone tried to do something. We got some drywall, but look at those old windows. Looks like throughout, can't really tell, but they look like old wood windows. You got the walls, the paint. This is, you know, windows missing. All the ceiling needs to be redone. Now, this is just a big, big job, right? So floors are Now, the carpet was ripped out, good job, but we're far from being rent ready here, right? They maybe redid some of the electrical, hopefully, for making all those holes in the wall. Even the bathrooms are needing to be done. So, whoo boy, we got a lot to do here. We might have a better picture of the windows. You definitely see the siding, right? All the paint is chipping. This would not pass the paint code in Cleveland. They're going to definitely ask to scrape and paint or reside completely. The driveway, you can get away with this in Cleveland, but be careful when you're in the suburbs. They would make you redo the driveway completely. So just massive, right? This is a big job because of the siding, and I didn't even look at the roof or the mechanicals yet. But windows, siding, generally everything inside the property, you would be hard pressed to get out of this project for under 60,000. You'd be hard pressed to get something under that. So this is a 5-2, and actually it says multifamily, but I did read in the description that it was a single family, so it was probably a duplex converted to a single family home. So 5 bedrooms, 2 baths, so definitely a nice size, right? Over 2,000 square foot. That just means there's more work to do on the other side. So 5 bedrooms is what we're working at. So one of the big reasons we go to realtors, because I want to know how much this property is likely to be worth. And so we see here the trend over time, and you see it's not going up very fast. This is fairly a flatline trend here. So it doesn't look like it's in a neighborhood that's appreciating very strongly. And looking at the trend, this property is probably worth about, from this, $75,000. So if you buy it for 34 and you've got, shoot, 70,000 of work in here, I would guess, to make it complete and nice. Looks like you're over budget, right? If your property is worth 75, you buy it for 34 and put 70, you're in for 100 and what did I say? 104. 104,000 on a property worth 75. We are not satisfying the golden rule of real estate, that is buy at a discount. You want to make sure that when you buy property and you put money into it to fix it up, your all-in price is below the market value of the property. So this is 3 different estimators of value. One says 54, one says 66, and one says 74, but the trend does look like it would be probably in the 75 range. But we're far from the 104, and we're far from buying at a discount. If we're all in for 104, I'd like to be at least at 125, at least in value. So we're definitely not doing well on the buying at a discount side. And we see the last sales price in 2017, it was listed for $2,500. Then, but it actually sold for 3,000 in 2017. Then it was sold again in 2020 for 14,000. The price history on this property has not been very, very strong. See, less than $700 in taxes a year for this 5 bedroom, 2,000 square foot single family home. So that's one side of the coin. The other side is the cash flow. So basically, if you had a property that you were all in for 104,000 and it was a 5 bedroom, what could you rent it for and would you have good cash flow? Let's go see. Let's type in a property into a website called Rentometer. Rentometer, and let's put 5 bedrooms in here, 2 bathrooms, and see what the market rents are around this area for a 5 bedroom. Pretty strong, actually. But beware, beware. So, right, looking at the data, we see that the range is quite wide, from 1,600 to 2,600, with the average being right around 2,000, 2,100. But look on the map just for a second here. Okay, this could be very misleading for newbies uh, who are looking at only the numbers and not the map. This map is really, really crucial. This orange dot is where the property is located. Anything that's green means it's below average. Anything that's red is above average. And actually, like a lot of cities in the US, there's big gaps from neighborhood to neighborhood, sometimes street to street. You notice where all the reds are located. All those big ones right, that are pulling the average up are all pretty close to Little Italy. Little Italy. This here is the University Circle, which is a very nice part actually of the east side of Cleveland. Very high value properties, very high rent, very desirable. You're pretty close to Case Western University. There's a whole bunch of really cool stuff happening right around here. So, but north of this, boom, now we're starting to see all of the greens and the blues. So I would definitely, if I were just to look at this, I would definitely be in the 1600 range to 2000, nothing higher than that. But we have the option here to decrease the radius of the search. It auto, it does its thing all by itself, but you can decrease the range of the search and it's going to narrow the data it gathers. And now we see in a smaller radius, we're between 1500 and really that average and median is under 2000, which I think is much more reasonable. And if we wanted to, I don't know if it's going to have enough data, but we could try to go even smaller on our search. Okay, so that didn't have enough data. See this banner at the top? Let's see if I can go to 3/4 of a mile just to get enough data. I do. Okay. So really what I was trying to do was to get rid of that. Are we in the right property? Yeah. Trying to get rid of that red outlier from the university circle and really see properties that are really close by. And here we have 5 bedrooms. Now suddenly, between 1300 and 1800 with an average closer to 15, 16. Those are really, really big numbers. So when you do look at that map, be critical because if you see that all the reds are somewhere else, like this was the case, the data is skewed. This right here is much more representative of what this particular area is. And this area, for those of you who don't know Cleveland, is a somewhat rough area. It is a rough area. What am I saying? I've seen a lot of properties go by recently. One on Hamden, I actually just turned down. There's another one on Somerset here. Um, and we're comfortable with the rougher areas for certain strategy and certain situations. This is one area where we'd rather not, unless the numbers are absolutely crazy fantastic. So we're looking at 15, 1600. But in these rougher areas and with these high number of bedrooms, I would absolutely consider something Section 8, right? Section 8 guaranteed rents paid by the government. So we can see that a 5 bedroom, let's make sure we're in the right zip code. Yep, we are. So this is up to $2,100 paid by the government to the landlord. Now, the property has to be to a certain standard, and that means that you're paying all the utilities, you're providing appliances. Like there's a lot of conditions to get up to that. That doesn't mean you're getting that, but in those rougher areas, you might want to consider Section 8 because the quality of the renters, of the tenants in general in these rougher areas are just generally rougher on the property, on the investment, on the turnover, on all these things. So there is a way maybe to get higher than 1500, but for what we have here, let's just plug in that 1500 number to see how the cash flow would be on a property like this. So if we did have 1500 and we have 12 months a year, means we'd have 18,000 a year coming in. Now, taxes on this are still going to be very, very low. So instead of a 50% rule, I'm going to use the 55% rule to say that we're getting about $10,000 of net cash flow a year if we bought this cash. This would be our NOI, the net operating income for the property. But if we're all in for 34 plus 70, now maybe I'm being a little generous on the rehab, but I honestly don't think so. This is a big job. But let's say we are 104,000. We are getting involved in a very large renovation project. A lot can go wrong. And at the end, we'd have a 9.5% cap rate. That's what we have on the screen right now. The NOI divided by the purchase price, that was the total project cost. We'd be at a 9.5 cap. And as we saw from Realtor, this property is probably worth about 75,000, and we're buying above its total cost after this big project. And so suddenly, maybe you're putting one and two together, right? Golden rule one and golden rule two together, Is this a deal or no deal for Zila, who submitted this deal? Deal or no deal? Let's see the reactions. Let's see what you have to say in the chat. And yeah, I'm starting to see them come in here. Not so hot of a deal, especially compared to some of the others that we've been seeing. There they are. No deal, no deal, no deal, thumbs down. So um, I would agree. This is Nancy says no as well. So I think we pretty much have unanimity here. This is probably more work than it's worth. One little curveball, maybe, would be if you're in an ultra niche investment like a group home model. The size of these bedrooms are actually pretty large. Three of the five bedrooms are large enough to host two residents, so you could have eight residents here, which means there is a model in which you can gross over 3,000 a month for this property. Even with that, the neighborhood, your operator better be very comfortable with the property, and it's still a stretch. It's still a huge renovation for what another property could probably do a lot better in a better location, safer location for your staff, for your residents, for just everyone. So with all this being said, like there's always a way to make the numbers work, but that doesn't mean it's the best, it's the best property and investment for your portfolio. So on this one, I am going to have to say no deal. That doesn't mean I don't continue the relationship with a gatekeeper or with the realtor. I just simply say that this area management's not comfortable with it, and but these type of numbers with a smaller renovation they would work, but we're going to pass on this one. So there's a way to politely say no, and no is absolutely fine. And that's our deal reveal for this evening. So I spent a little bit more time wanting to give you a little bit of extra value. Sometimes it's better not to buy a property than to buy a bad one. And so that is our deal reveal for this evening. Hope you enjoyed. And reminding you that if you want to see more deals, if you want to be in proximity to gatekeepers and members of a power team in Cleveland and meet the deal butler in person, well, all that can happen at the Epic Bus Tour in Cleveland, February 24th and 25th. It is an exclusive event to JK community members, so members of the All You Can Learn Pass, or members who have attended a past blueprint, or who are JK partners or proteges. You're all invited. And the Deal Butler is hard at work for you day in and day out. And so join us next week and the week after, because we're going to feature two deals that are being closed with the help of the Deal Butler. So have a great evening, everyone. And if you are in the All You Can Learn Pass, we'll see you at the top of the hour at 8 for our mastery call, where I'm going to dive in deep to the negotiation of one of those Deal Butler deals that we're going to showcase tomorrow. I'm going to show you the 25 steps that happen, all the ping-ponging, all the back and forth and negotiations and renegotiations, and how we managed to bring an $80,000 two-bedroom property to a 30 $5,000 purchase price. Yeah, it was quite the we're not done yet either. It's still there's still some final things to tie up in a nice little bow, but there's a way to do this, and I'm excited to reveal the deals for you. So have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Have a great one.